Welcome to Windows 10 Black Belt Sales Training, where you'll gain the messages and skills you need to become a master at selling Windows 10 and modern devices to your business customers. We'll take a look at 3 different areas today: the size of the market, Windows 10 benefits, mobility cost savings and objections. Then we'll look at some security features, including Device Guard and Windows Information Protection, and finish off with some demos on productivity, Windows Hello and inking. So let's start with the opportunity. Windows 10 adoption is tracking really well. We've now hit 400 million active devices running Windows 10 since its launch in July 2015. In fact, the adoption rate of Windows 10 is far greater than what it was for Windows 7. So it's a really good indication of the value that we're seeing our customers get from it. We know that there's a huge commercial opportunity with 2.5 million commercial devices forecasted in Australia in FY17, 60% of which are mobile devices. Businesses show the greatest potential for these device sales, with 55% device share of the commercial market. Plus, the rapid growth in mobile devices and modern PCs demonstrates the interest that small to medium businesses have in modernising their IT infrastructure. So we have an intuitive OS that people want to be using, great new devices to sell, and a want for modern computing. All that's missing is the pitch. So let's take a look at some of the benefits that Windows 10 brings to small businesses. First off, in mobile computing, it offers an opportunity for less duplication of work, devices to go where the work is, and increased employee output. But even for fixed fleets, there's faster boot up times, less support requirements, and improved manageability. Forresters Consulting released a report on the total economic impact of deploying Windows 10. They found that it pays for itself in 13 months. One of the biggest impacts that they found was manageability and security. So whether you're on a mobile or a fixed fleet, savings can be realized in lots of different ways. So for example, 15% saving in IT desktop management, or a 33% reduction in security issues and time to resolve. As a matter of fact, Windows 10 is so secure that the US Department of Defense has mandated the use of Windows 10 on 4 million devices within the year. The other impact that Forresters found was improved productivity with mobile workers. So let's shift gears a little and take a look at mobility with Windows 10. Independent research has shown that enabling employee mobility can increase productivity by 15 to 30%, with some studies reporting an increase of up to 51%. So what's that in dollar value? Well, if we take an average salary of $70,000 and apply a conservative 20% increase in productivity, that equates to $14,000 a year. One of the other benefits that companies have claimed for mobility is the impact on staffing. Bell South reported that 92% of remote workers said that they were less likely to leave. Imagine the impact on staff retention. Merrill Lynch found a 33% increase in employee morale when introducing a mobility model. So again, if we calculate that out, we can estimate that a relatively significant drop in absenteeism, especially if we consider the days that parents have to take off because they need to care for a sick child. The average number of sick days that Aussies currently take is 6.5 days per year. If we estimate that we can improve that or reduce that by 45%, that's 3 days back, equating to $875 per employee per year. Lastly, there's an impact on operational costs. IBM reported real estate impacts of $100 million saving per 10,000 mobile employees. That's $10,000 per person. We could estimate $100 per employee on infrastructure, so for example, cabling, data, desk, etc. And when we add all of this up, it totals to nearly $25,000 per employee per year. That's a huge saving for any business, but in particular, a small to medium-sized business. Imagine that the per user positive dollar impact is so huge that even if you spent $3,000 on a new device per user and $10,000 on additional infrastructure, you would realize the payback of the investment within just a few months. The mobile scenario demonstrates significant economic impact, but what about those businesses who aren't able to mobilize their employees and continue to operate on a fixed fleet? They too will see significant benefits from deploying Windows 10 devices. We see productivity impacts in the form of faster boot up times, ease of searching information using Cortana, or even features like snapping screens. So again, Forrester's reported 15 to 30 minute productivity improvement based on Windows 10 deployment. So that's a 5% increase on productivity, up to $4,000 per year. Then there's the operational costs. If we think about old PCs using 250 watts of energy, running fans, spinning hard drives, and producing considerable heat, we can conservatively estimate that deploying new devices with Windows 10 could, let's say, save $100 per employee. Add in the lower security costs and antiviral support of $200, so that's one support issue at $130 and one antivirus subscription of up to $70, and we come to a total saving of just over $4,000 per employee per year. So it seems like an obvious strategy and thousands of dollars in increased productivity and reduced support costs. But why don't businesses do it? People are aware of the trade-offs, but the assumed challenges are often greater than the real ones. So to unlock the benefits of increased productivity and increased employee morale, increased customer service and lower real estate costs, we need to work through some of the issues that businesses face, including increased risk loss of data, concerns over cost and complexity of management, and so on. I want to share with you now a video that I think sums up the typical challenges that businesses face in managing their IT infrastructure. Let's take a look.
Most data leaks, well, they're not really intentional. I manage IT for Rela Cloud's marketing org, which is 450 seats. Like any place around, people just can make mistakes. They try to upload confidential documents onto personal cloud storage.
We're on mute, right? Yeah, I think so.
What I would like to say is that is the stupidest idea I have ever heard.
Hello?
And copy and paste business information that's really confidential onto the non-corporate sites. We needed a solution that could tell the difference between the personal documents and those really critical business documents that need to be protected. Because a lot of people around here, they don't think. Microsoft's enterprise data protection. I do sleep a little better, but just a little.
So on to our next pillar of security. Security is one of the biggest concerns for business customers, especially those enabling mobility. So for the next part of this training, I want to demo some of the new security features in Windows 10. One of the most important things you can take away from this training is that Windows 10 and modern devices represent the most secure Windows experience ever. So for example, antivirus, firewalls, and anti-phishing technologies, new hardware-enabled security features, data encryption, and Windows Hello, which means that you are the password. Let's take a look at a video demo that shows a clear difference in security between Windows 10 and older versions.
Let's look at Device Guard. We'll start with a Windows 7 device. What you can see here on the left is an email that's in an end user's mailbox, as well as their anti-malware and firewall settings open on the right. You notice the email looks very friendly. It's apparently from my IT department with just a Contoso zip file. I open it up and run it and look at what it does. It's actually disabled my firewall settings and it's disabled Windows Defender. And now they can just do whatever they want to this PC. By using some social engineering, I was able to get the user to run some application on their device and infect them. Now let's go to Windows 10. You notice the same email and anti-malware and firewall settings open. This time, when I attempt to run that same application, it doesn't run. Because of Device Guard on this device, it won't let apps run that are not authorized. With Device Guard, only signed apps that you trust will run on the device.
Another one I want to show you is how information protection works. So this demo shows a user attempting to copy content from a company document. So you can see here that the file is classified as a company document. When the user tries to select text from the document and post it on Twitter, they get a notification that this file is a company protected file and that that document needs to be changed to personal before the user can paste the content onto the site. Most importantly, the user is notified that their actions will be tracked if they choose to do so. With Windows 10, these kinds of security features are all built in and come to the customer at no extra cost. So let's move to our last module now, some demos. I want to show you 3 easy demos that you can show your customers that will help you sell Windows 10 Pro and, more importantly, sell more devices. Let's start off with Cortana, which is available on any Windows 10 Pro device. Microsoft has talked a lot about how Cortana can be used as voice recognition technology, but what I want to show you is the simple ways that you can make productivity gains just by typing what you're looking for. So for example, here I'm looking for a $400 receipt from a corporate lunch. I know it was in Concord in Sydney, so I searched for the file in my OneDrive that have the word Concord in them. And there you can see on the receipt, it's picked up the word Concord on an image of the receipt. Windows Hello is a really powerful tool. And when it first launched, the Australian newspaper tested it with 20 odd sets of identical twins to see if any one twin could pass as the other. Let's take a look.
Do you think the computer will be able to tell the two of you apart?
Maybe, because you do look different.
And do you think you're very similar?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We don't look that alike. Well, I don't think we do. Do we? No, I don't think we look alike.
Well, I hope we can trick it. It'd be nice to. It's always nice to beat a computer. Yes.
All set.
We'll just test that it works.
Yep, it's got me. It's weird.
It just worked.
It just worked?
Yeah.
That is awesome. Oh.
Couldn't recognize you.
The eyes, like the Windows eyes staring at me and it's looking for me, but nothing is happening. Still looking. No. Couldn't recognize me. Oh no.
Okay, one more time.
Give it one more go.
One more go.
Maybe if I squint my eyes more.
Yeah, you have squinty eyes. It's a little surprising actually. I thought it would have failed, but no, it was really good. It was really quick.
But that's kind of good.
Why?
Well, say if I've got some private stuff in there.
Are you relieved to know that your sister can't log in as you?
I really like her.
The thing is, we already share passwords. We know each other's passwords. Yeah, for a lot of things. There's really no point.
So you get a sense for how advanced the software is. For those devices that aren't equipped with facial recognition, that technology is still the same for fingerprint scanners and alike. Lastly, let's take a look at an example of how inking can be used across Windows 10 devices and apps. That brings me to the end of this training. I hope that it's given you some key information to have meaningful conversations with your business customers about deploying Windows 10 if they haven't already. And more importantly, upgrading their devices to ensure that they get the most out of Windows 10 features.